Memorabilia is a thriving business, and collectors markets like this one at Sandown Racecourse provide a smorgasbord of memories for those of us who love our footy nostalgia. Those old football cards in that bottom drawer may just be worth something.
I've been dealing about 10 years, Daryl.
And has it changed much over the years?
It has. The prices have very much increased over the last 10 years. It started off fairly reasonably priced, but especially with cards, values have gone right through the roof.
What would be the most sought after things, or the types of thing you get asked for most?
Probably membership tickets. Early membership tickets are very collectible. Also cards are well sought after. The earlier the better, obviously, but also many of the rarer things, like the sort of items that the players themselves would have got through their playing careers.
And with so much interest, are things getting harder to find?
They're almost impossible to find now, Daryl. The avenues have closed off. You know, you very rarely you find things at garage sales or at shops. Most things are sold through eBay these days, and occasionally you'll find some good things at an auction or just hunting around. Yeah, it's really getting difficult now. What we've got here are called Schneider and Abraham cards. They were issued in packets of cigarettes. They go back to, these ones in particular here are from 1905.
Interestingly, this particular series included players from the Bendigo and Ballarat leagues. So what would they fetch on average now?
Oh, usually you'd get about $30 to $40 each for those cards. When you're talking mint condition cards though, you can usually get a bit more for them, but increasingly harder to find in mint condition. These were issued by Coles Supermarket in the early 50s, early to mid 50s. There was 3 series. As you can see here, these cards only have the initial. The first 2 series had the initial, the 3rd series had the full name, and the full name ones are worth 2 to 3 times as much as the initial cards. These cards were issued by the Atlantic Oil Company. I think they were a early service station. They were issued in 1958. Quite hard to find in good condition, roughly about $25 a card. There's 10 for each team, so there'll be 120 in the set. This is the 1904 to 1908 Schneider and Abraham Incidents in Play series. There's about 16, I think, cards in this set. The hardest to get out of the early ones. Yeah, very rarely show up, and this particular card is Collingwood and St Kilda, played at Victoria Park.
And you'd be looking for value for that around about?
Oh, for this one, well, this one's trimmed, so the value's down on this one, but in good condition these cards now fetch about $150 each.
Francis, what's one of your favourite pieces?
This one here, Daryl, it's a framed picture of Hayden Bunton, signed. It's actually got a message on the side of it too. It says, "To Wall, with best wishes from Hayden." Hayden Bunton's probably one of the best figures in Australian football. He won 3 Brownlow medals in the 30s, and to find his signature on anything is incredibly rare, because he died a fairly young man in the early 50s.
And what would you pay for something like that?
Not much change out of $500, Daryl.
Football memorabilia, obviously a big demand for it.
Oh, particularly the cardboard items like cards and badges and plastic items that put into cereal in the late 60s and 70s, yeah.
Some interesting ones there from South Australia, the Mobile series from the 60s.
Yeah, they're good. They did 3 sets, but they did 4 here in Victoria, and West Australia even issued 3 sets, but they're very popular.
Good condition one, something like that, what are they worth?
Oh, I mean, their first set from 64, yeah, they bring $10 a card, but some of the West Australian ones are worth sort of 4 or 5 times that now.
And the early Scanlons, a full set of those, rare as hen's teeth?
Yeah, they are 63. I've got a part set at the shop missing one card, but a full set's probably worth in the order of 45 to 50,000 now in mint condition. It's a lot of money.
And what about the old Cornies cards?
Yeah, Cornies are good. They're a popular area. They started in 1948, but I mean, they range in value from $50 to $100 for the first set. Then you've got some nicer stuff as you go through the scoreboard series and some mascots, but they're prolific issuers of cards.
And the old Wills cigarette cards, 30s and 40s?
Yeah, probably earlier than that. I mean, Wills are sort of more at large, prior to World War I and then just after, but they're very popular with collectors now, but condition is the big driving force.
What would be the rarest thing you've ever had to part with?
Good question. I did have a card from Dollar Brand cigarettes, issued in 1890, which is probably worth about 6,000, I suppose. Yeah, may not be the rarest, but it's one of the better things I've had.
The memorabilia market in Australia, the collectors market, is that growing?
It is, yeah. I mean, eBay's probably has brought a lot of new collectors into it, but I mean, with eBay, you can't actually look at cards. It's better to come along to a fair like this where you can handle a card and meet the dealer face to face and probably haggle them down a bit for a bit of fun.
And other things as well. I see racehorse cards there and cricket cards.
Look, anything that's, I call it pop culture, anything that kids kept as kids, and now as we get older, we sort of want to revisit our past, buy them again, and maybe have some cards and things that our grandparents had.
Well, thanks for talking to us and best of luck.
My pleasure, thank you.
Well, Paul, football memorabilia are a very big thing, and the Week Poster's popular.
Yeah, they are very popular and all that. They go back back to 1954, so which are becoming quite rare actually. So probably your first one, 1954, would probably be your rarest and most sought after. Besides that, your popular clubs like your Collingwood of a 1958 or even St Kilda of 1966 is actually very popular as well, mainly because obviously they've only had the one premiership. Football cards, they just walk out the door a lot of times. If you've got the right ones at the right price, people always want to buy them. They're always, you get people turning up with a list with numbers and years, and they're just so organised. It's amazing to see them sometimes. And there's so many new different things on the market nowadays. It's not just football cards. You've got these Tazo plastic things that come out of chip packets, and wherever there's something, there's always a collector, no matter what they make.
I've got a lot of stuff from the 50s and people just love it. So, the Argus sort of photos and things like that, yeah.
So what's something like that, a clipping out of the Argus, an old photo, as we see Carlton there out of the Argus, what's that bring these days?
It depends on the person, often, $10, $15. A lot of people just throw them in the bin. So a lot of the full papers are worth, $40, $50. I've got the 1953 and 58 grand final footy records, which were 2 Collingwood premierships, which are always very highly sought after.
I notice you've got some few country records there, but it's mostly VFL, AFL stuff that people are after.
Yeah, the country stuff's very specific, but yeah, anything old VFL.
And you've got some badges there, they're pretty popular?
Yeah, and they are also quite rare because they came through the Argus, and you actually had to get a coupon out of the Argus and ship it away, and you get one badge with each coupon. So not a lot of people collected the whole sets, and they had cricketers, footballers, etc., etc. They're highly sought after.
So if people have got those in their garage or their basement or whatever, what are they worth roughly?
In good condition, $30, $40 each.
Francis, is it still worth collecting today's stuff for tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely, Daryl, but you'll have to put it away for a fair while, I'd say.
And keep it in good condition?
Absolutely. Keep it in good condition and keep it away from the moths.
So, a little bit of money in memorabilia there, fellas.
Yeah, talking about money, I mean, Ed's done a pretty good job tonight.
Yes.
But do you know, he once cost me in the order of about 50 grand, has?